You see that back there? Yeah, that's my new live performance desk setup that I've been working on. That right there is mainly the reason why I haven't been making videos, because I've just been basically jamming by myself. EUMONIK, music maker, creator, peace to those that know the name. Making loop-based music, or making music derived from loops, is an obsession that I discovered when I started sampling records and making hip-hop beats years ago. This obsession has grown and has not been satisfied with the likes of some tiny guitar pedal. So as a music maker and creator, I put it on myself, a mission to create the ultimate loop station. Something that I want to show you the ins and outs, possible suggestions, and maybe future improvements, but it can be controlled with both hands and feet, it's customizable, and it can be expanded for the situation that I need it to be used for. I have one more thing to set up though, and then I'll show you around. Here we go. Ooh! Wow, that sounds amazing. I just realized that I had my pants unzipped the entire time. The banjo sounds amazing though. Now that the banjo's set up and I've had a few days to experiment and jam out, especially with the MIDI controller connected to the main loop station, I'm ready to show you around all of the gear with the links down in the description. And as always, all those links help support me in some capacity, all of which is greatly appreciated, especially if you're looking into getting into making beats or looping live. There's a lot of stuff, and I'm glad to answer any questions, so drop a comment down below if you do. Banjo, let's do that. Everything starts with the banjo, which I have running into a really awesome Shure instrument microphone. A lot of sax musicians use it, but it clips onto the banjo really nicely. It's the PGA 98H, and I went with the corded version, the wired version, so I clipped this back into my pocket right here and got the strap for it. That thing is ready to rock out at all times, and the microphone sounds really good. The output of the banjo is going into this little Behringer mixer back here. That's the Xenix 502. I have the banjo going into channel 1. The next important thing is the microphone. This is the Shure MV7. I have it mounted on an InnoGear boom arm stand. Really nice boom arm. Now, the other stand that I should mention since we're at this point is the Hoverbar Duo by 12 South. It is fantastic for iPads, and it's really sturdy, and you can tighten up the bolts on the sides. And everything, since we're talking about stands and where things sit, is on the Ergotron mobile desk. This thing is incredible. It can go up and down. As you see, I keep it pretty high at all times, so I'm comfortable and ready to make music. Now, let's get back to the inputs on the Behringer mixer. Aside from my banjo and my vocals, the main sound source is the iPad, where I trigger sounds from GarageBand and other apps that I feel like using. Still very much in the experimenting process. But then I also use Algorithm DJ Pro AI, which is connected via USB to the Numark DJ 2Go2 Touch, so I can scratch. Then the output of that is going into channel 4 and 5 on the mixer. The reason why nothing is plugged into channel 2 and 3 or channel 2 for mono is because that's for my guitar. If I'm using a guitar or a bass, that's where that channel goes into. And then the last thing that I have connected to the mixer is this aux cable, and right now I have the Artiphone Orba, but if I want to, I could connect a K-oscillator or any of the random synthesizers that I have, like the Casios laying around. whatever I feel like plugging in. This is the auxiliary kind of random thing that is ready to be used for whatever reason. Now, all of the inputs from the Behringer mixer are going into the Teisco Overdrive guitar pedal. If I feel like activating that and giving it a little bit more grit and then the next thing is the Keeley Caverns reverb delay pedal, which sounds amazing with banjo. Really awesome. I am thinking about getting some type of MIDI enabled multi effect pedal to have everything run to and have more control over the effects. Everything is going into the RC505 loop station. So it all goes into the mixer through the guitar pedals, and then it goes into the input on the RC505. My microphone is going directly into the mic input. The last thing that I gotta mention about the RC505 is I have it connected to the FCB 1010, which is a MIDI foot controller. So I can trigger sounds and control sounds with this Behringer MIDI foot controller. I can use both hands and feet to control the loops, which is amazing. It is the best setup, I think, as far as creating loops go. It truly is remarkable to me because I love an acoustic guitar or a banjo. It's immediate. It doesn't need batteries or anything. It doesn't have any dependencies. You can start making music as soon as you're touching that instrument. Creativity starts. But then I also love technology and being able to have a digital audio workstation, lots of effects and options. But that has a little bit more dependencies. You need electricity, it's got to be plugged in, you got to wait for the thing to start, and then the computer has to load, and all of those things. So I wanted to marry those two worlds in the best way possible, and this is the process of that. This is at least what I could come up with. Having the immediacy and being able to touch and create something as soon as possible, but also having the options to really craft something and use technology in an interesting way. Especially having control with both hands and feet. I think that's what makes this the ultimate loop station. If you have any questions, drop it down in the comments below. And I think the best way to show you how all of this works would be to check out one of my performances. You can check out this playlist right here. As always, I appreciate you being here. God bless.